What up? It's your boy, the Incredible Man. Yes, I am back at it again, and I just watched My Hero Academia Season 4, Episode 22, and it was absolutely glorious, man. I'm so sorry that it's late. They were working on my Wi-Fi all day today, and I haven't had it just until maybe probably about an hour ago. But, oh boy, it's so good. This episode was so good. I loved every single moment of it, man, and I have got to admit, I see why Gentle is a favorite for everybody. Now, this episode, with everything else that we've seen firsthand from Gentle, he was easily becoming such a wonderful character for me anyway, because I haven't read the manga. But and this episode solidified everything that we've already seen in just his character. He made a staple. He made a point. Gentle is the man, and he was even willing to sacrifice himself so La Brava wouldn't be tied in with and be an accessory to his crimes. Come on, man. You don't get better than this guy. Don't get me wrong, season 4 has been phenomenal, and we all love the whole Mirio, and you guys know how I felt about Sir Night Eye, and the whole Deku moment, and even the overhaul stuff. But I gotta be real, Gentle straight shined, man. Just being 100% Gentle was epic, and the reason I say this is because Gentle was authentic. A lot of times, because it's anime, we don't really get to see the whole human-esque or like the reality of it, unless it's like it's one of those type of anime, where like the real stuff is going down. But in My Hero Academia, sometimes in certain scenes, like with some of the overhaul stuff and the whole Mirio and what he done to Eri and stuff, some of that is like you get the reality of it and the realistic part of it. But, overall, you get your whole, it's an anime. But the moment that this episode hit off with Gentle and his ideals and how seeing his little preview backstory, how everything happened to him and what he said and done in this episode was absolutely phenomenal. Horikoshi, oh boy, it was just that good, man. Yeah. So this episode started off and we see Monoma, I don't know, maybe what you would call it, picking on Kendo and complimenting her at the same time. I don't see how, but that's what he was doing. And we got to see Reiko helping her with the whole beauty pageant thing, and then we get to see girl from the Big Three come in and kind of give her input, and we're like, well, don't be too sure you're gonna win because I'm in the running as well. So we're still trying to speed up the process of diving straight into the actual festival. We also see Mirio talking to Eri and asking her, is she ready to see Midoriya, and telling her all of the stuff that they're going to watch during the festival. So all of that is nice and fine and dandy, and it was good. It was nice. It was fun. But then we get to the meat, and that is Gentle. Man, we get to the part where we see Gentle and Deku still going at it. And Deku was kind of reminiscent of their fight, and he was like, well, Gentle said that, he can't dispel his quirk when he wants to. It kind of dispels on its own. So he chases Gentle, and they get into this huge fight. And I gotta be real, that moment when he caught up to Gentle and La Brava, and he used the air shot, and it bounced off of the little rubber elasticity of Gentle's quirk, and it just shot. Come on, man, Deku! I gotta give you your credit for that one because that was absolutely epic. But then we get into the fight with him and Gentle, and they're both spouting out their ideals, and then we get a backstory on La Brava, and we see that she was kind of. And that's where I said about the beginning of the video about the whole realistic part of it and the reality of this episode and everything that happened, because everything that happened to La Brava happens and could happen in real life. You share your feelings for someone, and sure, grant they may not feel the same way, but at the same time, you don't have to talk about people and embarrass these people to other people. But people, the human race, man. Sometimes you get your good, but you gotta take your bad along with the good. That's just what it is. And sometimes you get people like this guy that was just bashing her to these other students, and that made her feel some type of way, and it made her a recluse, and she was just stuck up inside her house until she came across one of Gentle's YouTube videos, and that kind of made her kind of open up and kind of reconnect. Granted, she didn't reconnect to everybody. She reconnected to Gentle. And I guess that's a step in the right direction. Even if it's just that one person that you found that kind of shares those feelings for you or cares for you in a certain capacity, you found that person, because she was so shut off and closed to the world because of what happened to her. And I want to say maybe middle school. And so she was kind of deterred from the whole world. But seeing Gentle and having the guts, which was a huge step for her, because she probably didn't want to share her emotions at all anymore since that dude embarrassed her. But for her to build up the courage, granted she hacked his IP address to find him, but she built up the courage, went and talked to him, and he was willing to accept her, and that's how they started their whole companionship. But it was just, that's what I'm saying, it was so real. This episode was so real, and everything that Gentle was saying was spot on, and you feel for Gentle. Like, you really, really do. You feel for Deku because you understand where Deku's coming from as well. He wants to do this. It's no longer about Deku anymore. It's been a minute since it's been about Deku, but definitely it's not about Deku at all anymore. Now it's about Eri. He wants to give Eri a smile. He wants to open up the world for her. He wants to do what Gentle done for La Brava. Deku wants to do that for Eri, and it's so nice to see the comparison between the two characters and a mutual respect for each other. And then we go into like a whole backstory of Gentle, and we see that he wasn't the smartest guy, and we can tell that from like the certain scenes that we've seen already in some of the older episodes, where he was like, well, he didn't know how to work the computers, and he didn't have the idea for certain things. So we knew that he wasn't the smartest apple in the bunch. But to see the backstory and see that he was flunking out of high school probably, and he wanted to be a hero, but he couldn't pass the hero course entrance exam, and he was flunking out of school, and they were just basically telling him he should give up. And that's something you should never do. If someone's trying their hardest and they're actually trying, you should let them try and help them in the way that they succeed. I can't talk right. They succeed, not shut them down like, well, hey man, you're getting too old and you done failed multiple times, you should just stop trying. No, you should help them and find out why they're failing and get them the help that they need to succeed. Yeah, you can't do it for people that don't want help, but Gentle was, I guarantee you, Gentle was willing to try, but they didn't, and that forced him to quit. Then he started working as a part-timer, and also before all of that happened, he tried to save and be like a vigilante hero. Not, he didn't dress up or anything, but be a vigilante hero on his own. He just used his quirk in a situation where this guy needed saving, but it backfired because he wasn't adapt to situations, and he used his quirk, and the hero that was trying to save the guy came into it, and the dude ended up getting hurt. He didn't get killed, he got hurt, and in that process, I'm assuming his family may have gotten sued, and his mom and dad were so upset at him, and they just kind of just banished him, I'm assuming, and he left on his own accord. And he, at this point, he's like 22, and he's wandering the street, he's a part-timer, and he comes in contact with this dude that he grew up with and he went to school with, and the dude act like he didn't know him. I guarantee you he knew him, but he just didn't want to be connected with Gentle because Gentle made that accident when they were kids. And I felt like, I get the way he was looking, he was like, who are you again? I guarantee you he knew exactly who Gentle was. But all of that combined with everything that his parents said and were doing to him, and what the principal said and what that guy said, it all deterred Gentle, and he ended up becoming a criminal. He even looked up the path to supervillainry. So all of that pushed this guy to become something else. That's what made it so real, and of course it made you sympathize with him, because anybody could go down that path. If you have something in life, something happened to you, or something deterred you, you could easily become a killer or a drug dealer or anything. But if you have someone in your corner, someone's willing to help you and back you up, you end up coming out like Deku. Because Deku could have just as easily been in Gentle's shoes, but just so happens that he had that capacity in him to be a hero, and he himself never gave up. He was down and out a lot of times, but he never gave up. And it was just a chance of him meeting All Might, and All Might telling him that, I can give you my quirk, and it just so happened to happen in his favor, and that's what made Deku be the person that he is today, along with his original traits and everything. But that's what egged him on to be the person he is. Gentle didn't have that, so that's why he became a criminal. But they're so similar, and I love Horikoshi for writing it that way, man. It was absolutely epic. And then the episode ended with Deku actually beating him. La Brava tried to hack the UA servers, but she couldn't get there. She was found out. So it all just went bust. But in the end, Gentle was also willing to sacrifice himself to save La Brava. Man, come on, man. This whole episode was absolutely phenomenal. It was short. The fight was very short, but it was so impactful that it didn't even matter how short it was. And I would definitely love to see Gentle again. He's just such a wonderful character, man. And this episode was absolutely glorious. I loved it from start to finish. Even though the start had nothing to do with Gentle, but you catch my drift, man. That's everything that happened. That's everything that happened. By the way, though, let's talk about La Brava's quirk. That was absolutely fantastic. Her quirk was awesome, man. That was epic. Granted, she can only use it one time a day, and it boosts your powers for a limited time. But still, your powers get boosted just because she says she loves you. Dude, that is epic, man. But that's everything that happened, man. This is really incredible. Don't forget to smash the like button so you can smash any more. Comment down below, and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them and subscribe. But only if you really want to, man. And remember that anime matters, anime is greatness, and anime is life, man. Peace out.
Are we gonna play now? Ready for the show? I'm about to take down, you already know. Get the fuck out of my face now, yeah, you got it.